I'm here with Mark Fields, the CEO. Let's talk first about this incredible focus on performance. You're going to put out, what, 12 new performance vehicles? Why the focus on the high end for kind of America's car maker?
Well, we're showing how we're using innovation through performance, and the things that are driving that innovation that are allowing us to have these kind of great performance vehicles are focus on our EcoBoost engines, focus on lightweight materials, focus on great aerodynamics, and we've actually implemented so many of those elements across our entire lineup. It's just a great extension of it, and the GT, which we debuted today, is a showcase for all that innovation and technology.
Right. I mean, the 2005 GT is sort of credited with being the birth of the new F-150 because of the aluminum and lightweight construction.
Exactly.
This new car, though, what are we talking about as far as, is it a supercar? Is it something that nobody can afford? When's it going to come out? What's the engine?
We pride ourselves on having a full lineup of vehicles, everything from our small vehicles all the way up to our large trucks, and even this great new supercar. And it's going to be available. We didn't show. It's not a concept. It's a real production vehicle. It'll be available towards the back end of next year. It's going to get at least 600 horsepower. It has great technology in terms of carbon fiber structure and aluminum structure, carbon fiber panels. A new EcoBoost 3.5-liter engine in it. So all this great technology to be a showcase for what we're doing as a company.
Fascinating that the engine's going to be the EcoBoost. And the carbon fiber, Bill Ford, I heard earlier, saying that you guys are going to go into partnerships to build carbon fiber en masse, like real scale carbon fiber. It doesn't seem like anyone's done that yet, and that would really lower the cost basis.
Well, this is the wonderful thing about how we're running the company around innovation. We're challenging our engineers, and we're asking them to challenge custom, question tradition, don't take anything for granted, use technology where you can. And in the case of carbon fiber, we've been working with Dow since 2012. We're now formalizing a joint venture and looking at techniques to get to high manufacturing of carbon fiber. And again, it's part of our whole lightweighting strategy on moving the company and the business forward.
As a motorcycle owner, I know that it's very expensive to buy carbon fiber, so I welcome that step. I also heard you mention in terms of innovation that you're considering or looking into fractional ownership of cars. What's that all about?
Well, we're really looking at mobility on a larger scale now, and a lot of it has to do with listening to customers. And you have, for example, these large megacities that are growing, these cities that have 10 million people or more. And mobility is starting to become a problem. I mean, you go into any of the large cities and it's traffic is tough to get through. So we want to be part of the solution for that. So we're not only coming out with great products, we're also challenging the folks in our organization to innovate beyond that and look at some of these major transportation and congestion challenges and mobility challenges and come up with solutions. So we're experimenting, and we're going to learn from that. We're going to learn from that in terms of what can we offer customers and also what it can do for us as a business.
Now, I heard you at the CES conference in Las Vegas talking about autonomous cars that'll be out there maybe in 4 or 5 years. Do you have no plans in partaking in that sort of innovation? I mean, surely if somebody's going to put little pods that travel around San Francisco by themselves, Ford has to be in on that, right?
No, of course we're going to be in on that. Our approach is, we have semi-autonomous vehicles on the road today. They'll help you parallel park. They'll help you adjust your speed based on traffic flow. They'll help you keep you in your lane, those type of things. We have fully autonomous vehicles, development vehicles on the road. We will absolutely have a fully autonomous vehicles. We haven't talked about the timing because for us, we want to make sure that when it comes out, it's right for the customer and it's accessible to millions of folks and not just luxury customers.
Now, you remember your predecessor, Alan Mulally, he went over and is now on the board at Google. They're into the whole self-driving car thing and looking for partners. So will Ford partner up with them?
Well, as we go about this, we're making ongoing decisions around what do we want to do ourselves, what do we want to go out and buy, and who do we want to partner with. Still a wide open field out there as we kind of work our way through it, but we're very much dedicated to providing these kind of solutions and doing it through innovation, which is part of who we are as a company.
Let me ask about, you worked in Japan, you worked in Europe before coming up to this role to run the whole company. When you look at 120 yen to $1 or a euro getting closer and closer to parity. What do you think about that?
Well, I think, obviously currencies are part of our business. Our approach is pretty simple. Our approach is we expect that the markets will set currency rates and not governments. And we've seen, for example, with the Japanese yen, that's been weakened based on some of the policies of the Japanese government, and that's given some of our competitors an advantage. We want the markets to set those currency rates. At the same time, we're just going to stay focused on building great cars and trucks like the ones we're introducing here at the show and let the customers decide.
So it seems like this year you've kind of stolen the show with the GT and the new Raptor, but a lot of manufacturers are focused back to the basics, really, about cars and just building engines that work for consumers. You still have to keep your eye on the miles per gallon, though. Absolutely. As we approach the CAFE standards. Is that harder with $2 gas because it's not really what drives consumer decisions?
Well, it's interesting. Again, all the performance vehicles that we're introducing at the show this week, what we're showing is you can get performance and not sacrifice fuel efficiency. Again, through a lot of the EcoBoost engine applications that we're putting in here and the lightweighting. When you look at $2 a gallon gas, listen, bottom line is it's good for customers, right? It puts more money in their pockets. We think that's good for the economy. We don't think it's going to necessarily juice the industry higher. It may change the type of vehicles that customers want. And in terms of the mileage requirements, customers still want good fuel economy, no matter what vehicle they buy. Because I think they're smart enough now to know that although gas prices are low, they could go higher again. And they want to have a vehicle that has great fuel economy. But clearly, as we look at the CAFE standards, we're working towards those, but a very important piece is seeing how customers are adopting that advanced technology and seeing value in it. We're seeing still electrified vehicles, although we offer a full lineup, and the industry as total is still relatively low, and that's why we're really looking forward to the midterm review to talk about the feasibility of the time frame of those requirements.
How do you talk about the industry not necessarily getting juiced higher, but everyone's forecast is for higher industry sales? I think Jeff Schuster and J.D. Power and LMC are looking at 17.5 million almost this year. How far do you see this cycle going? Can we go to 20 million vehicles?
Well, our call for this year, last year we ended up about 16.8 million here in the U.S. Our call this year is between 16.8 and 17.5, and that includes medium and heavy trucks. So we do expect growth. When you look at the conditions, the economic conditions here in the U.S. are still, I think, very favorable towards moderate growth each year. Income levels, consumer confidence, those type of things. And I think that's going to bode well for the next couple of years. Now, it's always subject to any kind of exogenous shock, which could get us off the rails. But we do think over the next couple of years, the conditions here are quite conducive to a healthy industry.